Hey guys, MTG Noob here. Welcome to Spoiler Week, or Spoiler Month, whatever you want to call it. First, we're going to talk about the mechanics. So, looking at this first card, I didn't take any of the super pimped out mythics or rares. I took the uncommons and commons. We have the Boros mechanic of Battalion, and this mechanic basically is awesome in both limited and constructed, possibly constructed, because whenever this creature and two other creatures attack, it shoots off an ability. Now these abilities do stack, so if you have like three creatures and they all have Battalion, fireworks are going to happen. This one, Boros Elite, you know, he just goes, let's just become a 3/3 for one, which is a pretty saucy deal. You know, you can't go wrong with that if you're playing a very aggressive strategy. Remember, Boros is both red and white, so I expect to see multiple Boros cards that have Battalion going. Let's get into our next mechanic, which is the Cypher ability of the House of Dimir. This ability basically says, throw me onto an unblockable creature and watch me destroy stuff. Because it's just free spells, and free spells in the history of Magic usually turn out to be good. This one here, the Call of the Nightwing, basically you get to put a 1/1 blue and black horror creature token with flying onto the battlefield, which is nice, and then you know you can cipher this card onto a creature, and then when that creature deals combat damage, it more or less lets you play this a copy of this spell again for free. Now, this is yet to be determined if this is going to be really good or not so great, because we have to see what the other Cypher cards are all about. But I mean, free spells in my book are more or less usually good things, and if they print some pretty nutty one, especially the card draw one that you could throw on like an invisible stalker, you might be looking to run this mechanic. We won't know how saucy it is until we see more cards though. Next up, we got the Gruul clan in the house, bringing their crazy blood rush ability to the mix. This ability states that you can discard this card and pay usually a lower alternate cost, and it'll give it a target attacking creature a buff. We'll see if it's always going to be attacking. I believe it will be. So keep that in mind, as somebody who doesn't read cards very well might, you know, myself included, try to do this as a blocking ability, which will not be good because you'll be forced to target something that's attacking, so you can't do it to block. But you know, the thing I like most about this is it's basically an uncounterable pump spell, since you're discarding the card and that's the cost of the ability. Yes, they can respond to it, they can kill the target still, all that stuff, but they can't counter it. So I think more or less, if you're in an aggressive Gruul deck that just wants to smash face, I don't see how you wouldn't like cards like this that can somehow win you the game. Like if we're looking at this Zur-Twa-Swine, which sounds like pornographic almost, +5/+4 is no joke on an unblockable creature, or a creature that does not get blocked, I should say. It really is pretty saucy. I like the ability. I think it's not the greatest. I think it's underwhelming in some people's opinions, but I think it's going to be really, really good when you're beating face in, and it works really nicely on a trample creature, so let's not forget about that, which I'm sure there will be some in this set. Next up is the Orzo. They have the Extort ability, which whenever you cast a spell, you may pay either white or black. If you do, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain that much life. This guy, you know, he's a defender, he's just 1/4, but as you know, the Orzo just wants to grind you out and just like put their foot on your throat and just slowly siphon the life from you. This ability is going to be pretty annoying and limited, especially if you're a Boros or a Gruul type deck and you're just pecking away, or beating face, and then they have this guy, and maybe they play another guards. I'm not saying the guards is the best, but you know, it blocks little creatures pretty well. But then they're just slowly just paying one, paying two if they have multiple creatures with extort out. You know, it really is going to start adding up, and I don't know if you've seen some of the bombs yet, but the new Ghost Dad is pretty saucy, and he's just going to be a beating, and extort is I think it's going to be pretty strong. Might have a place in standard, you know, in an Esper kind of control shell, where you have some of these guys, not this one in particular. The guards I think it's an average creature, you know, it does what it's supposed to do. It stands there, and it essentially just gains you life over time. So I think it's pretty good for a common, but you know, it's not going to break the bank either, which is always nice. But does extort work? I think it's going to be more powerful than you're giving it credit for, so keep an eye out for that at the pre-release. And you know, I think extort is going to be pretty sweet. Finally, we have the last ability, which is the Simic ability, the green-blue, which is evolve. And whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, if that creature has power or toughness greater than this creature, put a 1/1 counter on it. What's really nice is its power or toughness. So often you're going to be getting that ability. This one, 0/1 flyer, starts out as crap, but you're gonna be playing better dudes. I know that it usually doesn't, you know, blue-green isn't really known for playing insane dudes, but over time this thing's gonna turn into a real threat. It's gonna be a big old bird mutant, and then people are going to be like, oh crap, I should have killed that when I had the chance. So I think evolve is going to be good. The downside to evolve is, you know, if you have really, you know, if you don't tempo it correctly, or you have a lot of things that can go against you, you're playing creatures, and you know, they're not as good. If this grows, you know, large, then you won't really be able to keep evolving it or leveling it up, but you might be able to get it to a respectable threat and still beat down with it. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this overview. If you want to read more about the mechanics or get another take, please visit our website, themtgnoob.com, and it'll be right on the homepage, or if you could look for it under articles. Thanks for watching, and please check out themtgnoob.com.